Hi friends, I'm Dave Barklow, pastor for Walton Beach First United Methodist. Welcome to the Pastor's Study, our daily devotional to help us focus our mind on the things of God. Today we're going to end kind of in the middle of chapter 9 of the Gospel of Mark. And remember, Jesus and Peter, James, and John are coming down the mountain from the Transfiguration. So they've just had this mountaintop experience. They have seen Jesus transformed before them. They have heard the voice of God. And then Jesus tells them, don't say anything to anyone in our scripture. And then they have a question for him. It's very interesting. So this is Mark chapter 9, verses 9 through 13. As they were coming down the mountain, he ordered them to tell no one about what they had seen, until after the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what this rising from the dead could mean. Then they asked him, "Why do the scribes say that Elijah must come first?" He said to them, "Elijah indeed is coming first to restore all things. How then is it written about the Son of Man that he is to go through many sufferings and be treated with contempt? But I tell you that Elijah has come, and they did to him whatever they pleased, as it is written about him." So, based on Old Testament scriptures, the religious leaders of the first century Jewish people said that Elijah must come to prepare the way for the Messiah. And the idea of a prophet coming before the Messiah, a herald, a preparer, comes out of Isaiah. There's a voice crying in the wilderness, "Make straight the ways of the Lord," right? And so this is a tradition, an interpretation of scripture that Elijah must come first. And so the disciples are confused. They're getting who Jesus is, right? They've heard God call him his son. We've got the dazzling white. So they're getting an understanding. Okay, Jesus is Messiah, right? Peter's proclaimed it already, the chapter before. But they're trying to make the pieces fit. But isn't Elijah, you're talking about you have to suffer, but isn't Elijah supposed to make everything right for you? So that means that you wouldn't have to suffer. And Jesus kind of says, well, actually, Elijah has already come, and Elijah suffered. Jesus is speaking of John the Baptist, who prepared the way for Jesus, who fulfilled that Elijah role. That the scribes had it right, that there was going to be a herald, there was going to be someone in the school of Elijah, in the type of Elijah, not Elijah, the actual Old Testament prophet, but someone whose ministry is modeled after Elijah, preparing the way of the Messiah. And of course, we remember that John suffered, that John was beheaded by Herod at the request of his stepdaughter and wife. So Jesus is very clear here that Elijah's preparation, the preparation for the Messiah, is not one of daisies. It's not one of an easy path. But rather the Messiah figure, John the Baptist, and the Messiah, Jesus himself, have difficult roads that they have to go. And Jesus is pointing it out. And I think this is so important because so often we want to make Christianity about if you do it, it'll be the best thing ever. And while that's actually true, it doesn't mean it's the easiest thing ever. The best and the easy is not always synonymous. The simple and the easy is not always synonymous. That sometimes the right thing is actually the hardest thing to do. So let's remember that as we walk with Jesus during these times. Let's look for all the ways that we can walk with him and that we can be part of his ministry of reconciliation. Remember, friends, I love you. Take care of yourselves and shine the light of Christ.